A massive fire starts at an apartment complex under construction, spreading to nearby homes in Overland Park. The latest on the devastating blaze right now. Good morning, I'm Alexis Delsid. We want to take you straight to the Overland Park Fire Department where a news conference is underway. Let's listen in.
Once in a lifetime incident, you hope.
Has everyone been accounted for? We're talking about neighbors, construction crews.
Yeah, to the best of our ability, best of our knowledge, everyone's accounted for. I think the construction company has accounted for all their employees, which is big. As far as we know, all the residents are safe and sound. We did have 3 firefighters that were transported with minor injuries. To the best of our knowledge, everyone's doing great there. So, knock on wood, just really fortunate that we didn't have any significant injuries or any loss of life. Pretty tremendous loss of property, but that's about it. So at this point, let me just kind of bring you up to speed. We do have, we're down to just our folks on scene right now. So we've got 3 companies working on the apartment structure itself. Pretty much got that fire out. We're just sort of patrolling for hot spots and embers and things like that. That building that collapsed especially, there's a lot of compressed debris under there that's still on fire, and so we're just kind of putting that out as it pops up. But really got that fire out, we believe. In the neighborhood to the south where we had the 17 homes affected, we've got 1 company there. We're down to just the 1 company of our folks, and they're patrolling, making sure that we don't have any flare-ups there. But thus far, it's been very quiet, so we feel like we've got that under control as well. So we've demobilized all of our neighboring departments. Again, very appreciative for their help. We'll move now into this morning when we get daylight. We'll start doing better assessments. We've got a team, arson task force, that'll come help with investigations. Each of these fires has to be investigated individually, so tremendous amount of manpower that'll be needed there. Probably about 8 o'clock this morning, those folks will all gather and begin dispersing through that neighborhood. I think we're going to start from the south, and they'll start working their way north and going through and working those fires one by one, contacting those people and making sure that we get everything under control in that regard.
Now, there were some reports that residents may have smelled gas before all of this started.
Yeah, there were all kinds of reports yesterday of gas odors and explosions and things like that. That's not uncommon when you get a fire, especially a fire of this magnitude, and much of that is likely the result of the fire, not necessarily the cause of the fire. So, you get a big fire, things explode, things burn, and that's not at all out of the norm to get those reports. We don't have any reason to believe at this point that there's anything nefarious or anything out of the ordinary. Certainly this is a building under construction. That'll probably be a focus of the investigation to try and determine, was there something in that construction process that may have been the cause. But again, just an amazing amount of debris to sift through and an amazing area to try and cover. So it's going to be a while before we get to the bottom of it.
Did any of the construction workers report anything, hearing anything, smelling anything, seeing anything before this happened?
Yeah, I don't have firsthand knowledge of those accounts. Okay. And again, we're talking about a large number of workers, so right. Those folks will be interviewed, and we'll try and talk with them and see what they know.
Jason, a lot of these firefighters, they've been working nonstop. Has there been any relief for them, or are these the same firefighters who were here yesterday afternoon at the beginning of the fire?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been able to switch out all the crews. Some of these folks were here during that fight, but we've at some point during the night been able to at least get them a break. We had so much manpower here to help last night that we were able to start rotating crews through at least rehab to get them hydrated and rested and cooled down and that kind of thing. And then overnight we've been able to switch them out and get some fresh bodies in there to the best of our ability. So even the folks that are here that this morning that were here last night have had at least a brief chance to rest.
Now we're hearing you're going to have probably 40 or more investigators teaming up. Besides ATF, who else, and of course your department, who else will be involved?
Yeah, the PD has investigators, and I believe there'll be local PD from our police department as well as our neighboring departments. 40 investigators is an army, so it's a task force made up from law enforcement and fire officials from around the county and metro.
Is this the biggest fire that you can ever remember in this part of the metro?
By far, yeah. I've talked to a number of the people on all the departments that were here, and no one's seen anything like this. This is, a once-in-a-lifetime event, we hope. We don't want to see it again. But, yeah, it was just tremendous. Walking through the neighborhood to the south during the firefight, I've never walked down a street and seen fire on both sides of me. It was just unbelievable.
At one point, it seemed from the video, the fire crews were just so overwhelmed. I mean, we had houses on fire. There were no fire crews there because they were just so busy with other fires that were breaking out.
Yeah, it was absolutely. They were just doing everything they could to keep up. It was literally just running from one to the next. And, you know, as resources arrived, we were able to start putting a command structure together and getting our arms around it and getting things under control. But initially, yeah, it was just all hands on deck, and fire was popping up all over the place. So, yeah, it was pretty dicey. I will say that did drive through the neighborhood this morning. It looks like they've, you know, PD's done a great job of kind of patrolling that and locking it down and keeping people who are not residents out and getting residents back in. It looks like the utilities have done a fantastic job to power back to most of the homes, except for the affected homes, obviously. And so it looks like it's peaceful in there, and those who were able to reoccupy have been able to get back in and hopefully get a little bit of sleep. So we're just trying to get things settled down at this point. It looks like we've accomplished that. So as we get some daylight, we'll get in, do some assessments, and get the investigation going and move forward. Try to make sure we've got connections with everyone who's been affected and get them help if they need it, and begin the next phase of the operation.
Okay, and it's
Thank
still
you very
17
much.
homes, correct?
All right, we're going to break off from this.
Are most of them heavily damaged or any destroyed of the 17?
So we probably had, of the 17 homes that were affected, I'm going to say maybe 8 to 10 of those significantly affected.
Thank you so much for your time. All right, that was just an update from Jason Rhodes. You heard that 8 to 10 of those homes are destroyed. We can still see water being poured on the apartment over there to put out hot spots. As soon as it gets daylight, we will be able to get a better look at really the damage here. So we will continue to stay out here and bring you an update. But for now, I'm live in Overland Park. Stephanie Kaiser, KCTV 5.